In this video, I want to talk about a new AI tool called Higgsfield. And effectively what it is an advanced VFX video generator that takes images and applies effects or camera transitions and does it in a very smooth manner. Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably a business owner, aspiring business owner, content creator, or marketer. And the ultimate question is, will this provide value to my creative? And my answer to that is there are things it struggles with, but it's also very impressive from a lot of different angles. I'll be going over the pricing later, which is very reasonable. Definitely able to create VFX that ordinarily would have cost tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars by a movie studio. So let's go through the website. The first thing you're going to notice is it's very template based. We have arc right, we have turning metal, we have melting, we have set on fire. These are all themes that you can apply to your own pictures to make them go from an image to a video. Now, ultimately, the website is very similar to Kling. As you can see, this interface right here where you generate the images is very similar to Kling's interface. Now, if you haven't seen my video on Kling, I highly recommend it. It's also one of the great video editing platforms in this new AI world. And I'll quickly go into the cost breakdown for both of the platforms. So they get a little complicated with credit systems and subscriptions, but I've broken this down from the most simple point. Roughly, you're paying 60 cents per 5-second video generation on Higgsfield, versus Kling 2.0, you're paying about $1.50, so it's a lot more comparable to Kling's old model at about 50 cents. So, in some ways it's expensive if you're trying to generate 10, 20, 30 seconds constantly, and on the other end, it's way cheaper than filming or hiring people to do something like that. So, a few things to note on Higgsfield's side. When you're generating a video, you need a start image. You can also have an end image. This is similar to Kling. You're going to need a theme. So, for example, this is FPV drone. You can also add a second one. So, example, turning metal. So, you'd have multiple at once. You put in your first frame here. You type the prompt here. And you hit enhance on if you wanted to create a lot more in-depth prompt. And you turn it off if you want it to stick exactly to your prompt, and then you click generate. Now these generations go very fast. It's been only taking me about 2 minutes, and I'm on the $10 plan. Speaking of that, I did pay money to subscribe to Higgsfield for this video, so if you could return the favor, make sure to follow myx.com/mentor. And then also I created a new Telegram channel which I'll be pushing updates to all the hottest AI tools, so the link will be in the description, and if you use Telegram, make sure to join that. So let's get into the results and compare side by side. So this first one is I gave it this picture that I created on Midjourney of Goku, and I gave it a prompt. It turned it into this. This is the yo-yo zoom effect, and that's the input image, and this is the output. As you can see, it is just incredible, and it just looks very cool, and it looks like something that was animated by humans. Now I'm going to show you the Kling alternative to what was generated, which is also very cool, but it has its difference. As you can see here, it has a lot more effects and things going on, but it also has a lot more distortions to it. So ultimately, I think Higgsfield in this case is better for the camera movements, and Kling is better for the creating more visual new effects element. Alright, let's go through some of the other videos that I generated. So this is the turning metal effect on a Midjourney image. As you can see, it's pretty cool. I think you can specify in the prompt what exactly you want to turn metal, but this was just one of the first things I created. Now, this one over here, this is arc left, and this is kind of like a camera pan, and this is what I think Higgsfield is extremely good at. So, for example, you can give Higgsfield a picture of your product, or in this case, this could be something like a dessert ad. This was generated on Midjourney, and when we click it, it just perfectly animates that 360. You can see all the fruits and everything look extremely good. And I'm just super happy about this output, and it really shows me that you could take a good product image and turn it into a cool video. Now, scrolling up, I'll show you this one. This is the FPV drone. This one kind of failed a little bit, but as you can see, it's me snowboarding here, and it actually goes up the hill, but it is pretty epic what it did create. Even though I'm going kind of backwards up the hill, you can see the effects of the snowboarding and the drone-like shot on it is just stunning and amazing. And if I could get it to do it the other way, I could trick people into getting a shot that would be so much easier than actually going snowboarding. And now this next one over here, we actually applied two filters, the turning metal and the melting. So this is really just a case of that. And like the other ones, this is a Midjourney image. And as you can see, she turns metal and melts at the same time. And I don't really know what you could use this for in a commercial setting, but it just catches the eye and it looks really cool. Moving on to this, another example of a snowboarder from Midjourney, obviously going up the hill, but you get the point. The POV shot of the drone and whatnot is extremely cool, and this is just given that one frame as a reference, so it's creating the rest of the world. So I think that's pretty unique. Scrolling up, here we have a really good effect. Now most of the effects are on people. So this is an image I took from Midjourney. Obviously the shark is a little bit of a clickbait here. But you can see the human movement and everything of this kiss effect is just really good. Like, it knows exactly the lips, it knows how to do the zoom in, and you could be doing a lot of different effects using people and creatives to create something that's interesting and catches people's attention. So I thought this came out really, really good. And then here's another example of a dragon. And now with the prompt over here, it did manipulate it a little bit, but even when I gave it the exact same prompt as Kling, I'll show you what it created. So the dragon just flies off and leaves the person. So it is pretty impressive, but compared to Kling, I think Kling did a much better job keeping the person on and going through and generating a lot of new content. So I think Kling has a really strong edge on creating content that's not really visible in the frame, but Higgsfield does a really good job of doing those camera angles and everything of what's existing in the current frame. Here's another one of the turning on fire. I have the Elon and Trump, and I just think it's really cool, and this is just an example of a cool template used on a random image that could potentially even go viral on social media like Instagram. Now this one is the Cookie Monster, and I gave it the bullet time effect, but it really slows time and you can really see the picture from a bunch of angles, which is what Higgsfield is really good at. So I'm just going to give that a play here, and as you can see, it's just super cool to see. That's pretty much all I have to say with that one. And that's my first look into Higgsfield. I'm definitely going to be making more content, especially when they have updates. And on that note, I am currently filming a masterclass video that's going to go over all the image and video ad creative content, you name it, that you could possibly need, as well as some really in-depth automations for that. It's going to be my most thought out and longest video, and I'm going to be dropping that somewhat soon. So make sure to go in the description and sign up to my Telegram to be the first ones to be notified about that. Anyways, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys later.